I'm a 36-year-old single programmer living in Florida, having a messy look. That night, I pulled a late one, working till 10 p.m. to wrap up a new project. My stomach was growling like crazy, so I walked over to the In-N-Out by my office to grab some dinner. After chilling and eating for like 30 minutes, I went out front of the In-N-Out to grab a cab home. Empty, quiet streets, late at night, really get people in their feels. I ended up thinking about my job and the whole single life thing. "Get lost, bitch," some guy was yelling and cussing, which totally caught my attention. Right by the little alley next to In-N-Out, a couple was having some drama, but it was all kinds of toxic. The guy wasn't just cussing her out, he was also pushing her around pretty badly. I was shocked, took a sec to think, and then just kept quiet. Figured it was their business. "Get out of my life. Why are you so damn stubborn?" The guy was totally losing it. Weirdly, the girl wasn't crying or acting hurt. She just kept saying sorry and barely pushing back. I couldn't just ignore it anymore, so I walked up and said, "Shouldn't do that to a woman, fam." The guy stopped as soon as he saw me. He went from all pissed off to kinda happy and confused, like he was about to say something, but couldn't. But in the end, the guy just took off, totally surprising me. He hauled ass, like he was trying to get away from something really bad. "You good?" I turned to the girl and helped her up. She was tiny and skinny, wearing a loose dress, with her long messy hair all in her face. After I helped her up, the girl got to her feet, said thanks, and brushed her hair out of her face. She had a ton of makeup on. Her eyes were super big, but her lips were the total opposite. Her face, neck, and arms were covered in a bunch of scars, long and short. Some were still bleeding from the stuff her boyfriend did earlier. Her breath was heavy and kind of forced, like she was pulling the person in front of her deeper into a trash can. Without thinking, I covered my nose and took a step back. The girl grinned and walked up to me, saying, "Thanks a lot." My stomach did a flip. No problem, and I bolted out of there before I tossed all the In-N-Out I just ate. I got home with that awful smell still stuck in my nose and feeling sick the whole time. I jumped in the shower real quick to shake off the tiredness and gross feeling. The next day was another long one, so I decided to take the bus home instead of driving. As soon as I got on the bus, I was shocked to see the woman from yesterday. She flashed a big smile when she saw me and waved. I was gonna turn around and get off the bus, but it was too late. The doors shut and the bus took off. I picked a seat as far from that woman as I could, but her eyes were still on me, and her hand was still waving with that weird smile. Everyone else on the bus was staring and talking about me, so I figured I'd just get off at the next stop and grab a cab home. After that day, I stopped taking the bus, but that was just the start. The next few days were full of crazy, creepy obsessions. The next day at work, that girl was waiting for me right in front of the office. As soon as she spotted me from a distance, she ran over all excited and eager. I froze for a sec, totally freaking out. Why the hell is she here? Facing the girl, I tried to calm my breath and keep my face cool. "I've already said you're welcome, so we're done here. I hope this is the last time we cross paths." I just said my piece and rushed into the office before I could even catch my breath. That night when I left, I couldn't see the girl anywhere. I let out a big sigh of relief. As soon as I walked in and flipped on the light, my phone buzzed. "Hi, it's me. Come hang out for a bit." The voice on the other end was a girl, all soft and sweet. I grabbed the phone, opened the door all confused. "Why are you here?" I said, totally surprised, while the girl just waved, all happy. Seeing the infected, gross wounds on her face totally made me feel sick. "How do you even know my address and number? Please, I'm seriously asking you to stay away from me, alright? What if I say no? She challenged me with this sweet and cheerful vibe. She was getting more and more under my skin, pushing my patience to the limit. I stormed into the house and slammed the door, thinking I'd give her one last chance before calling the police. That last chance was the next day, right in front of the In-N-Out, just like the first time I ran into her. "Anthony!" She even knew my name and yelled it out. "Get lost!" I yelled, totally pissed off and fed up. The more she saw me lose it, the more she seemed to get a kick out of it, giggling and slowly getting closer. I couldn't control myself anymore, and for the first time, I actually snapped at a woman. I yanked her hair, all gross and dirty, and shouted, "Get lost! How many times do I gotta say it?" Then I went off on her just like that guy did that night, and I was the one watching it all go down. A strong shove sent me flying, and someone yelled, "Knock it off, jerk!" A young guy. I was all mixed up at first, then got pumped and ran off real quick, because I found someone to take her place. After I bounced, the girl got up, flashed a big smile at the guy, and you could see a couple more fresh scars on her face, bleeding.
4 years back in the fall, my girlfriend Louisa and I went on a road trip across the state to celebrate hitting 2 years together. We started out in Amarillo, headed southeast through Fort Worth, and ended up in Houston. The last part of the trip was all about chilling and having fun at the Kima Boardwalk, where I was planning to pop the question to Louisa. I was pumped for this trip. After a week of listing stuff, getting everything ready, and sorting out work, we hit the road. The first part of the trip was always a blast, and we were full of energy. We talked, snacked, checked out the streets, and got hyped about the trip. After a few hours, we got into a little argument, and I could tell Louisa was pretty upset. Same here, and I bet other couples do too. But it was all good. We got over that first bump pretty quick. We grabbed some amazing Texas barbecue and kept going when it was almost dark. We headed over to Fort Worth real quick. It's a city that mixes old school and modern vibes. After driving for a bit, I was totally caught off guard when Louisa shouted, "Hey, look!" On the side of the road, this old guy was standing there, waving at us. I didn't slow down or answer Louisa. I just drove right past the guy. "What's up with you, William?" Louisa was pissed at me. "Louisa, he's a total stranger," I pointed out. "He's pitiful and needs help." Louisa's voice kept getting louder at me. "How do you know he's pitiful? There's been so many scams like this lately. You can't just let random people in the car." Louisa went quiet after seeing I wasn't budging, staring out the window. The silence went on for almost 2 hours. Louisa shouted again, "William!" I looked where Louisa was pointing, and there was a man standing on the side of the road. "Stop the car and help him," Louisa pushed. "Isn't that the man we saw like 2 hours ago?" I was doubtful, and Louisa was getting pissed. "Whether it's him or anyone else, we gotta help him." And I still decided to just drive past the guy. Of course, with how Louisa is, she got mad at me. With my girlfriend yelling at me, I just stayed quiet. Arguing right then wasn't going to help at all. Maybe I made the right call, even though Louisa was still pissed. At least she shut up after a few words. We drove through a busy street and stumbled on this random music festival with a bunch of young people our age. I stopped the car, yanked Louisa out, and jumped into the fun to shake off the awkward vibe. In the noisy crowd, with the music blasting and lights flashing, I spotted the man from earlier, the one we'd seen twice on the highway. But for just a second, the lights went out and then back on, and he was gone. I pulled Louisa away, surprising her, and said I wasn't feeling great and was a bit hungry, just to get us out of there. We stopped at a Buc-ee's. It was like almost midnight. "I'll grab you whatever you want, cool?" Louisa gave a little smile and went inside while I stayed out to pump gas and would head in later. I tried to play it cool in front of Louisa, but in my head, I was feeling all kinds of restless and worried. A ton of questions and thoughts about that weird guy kept popping up in my head. After pumping gas, I went back into the store, looking for Louisa in the fast food section. "Louisa!" I yelled, getting everyone's attention, and marched over to her with a death glare. My girlfriend was talking to that guy. It had to be him in those torn-up clothes, but when I got closer, he was totally gone. "Did you just talk to him? What'd he say? You good?" I asked, freaking out. "Come on, William, it's just a homeless man asking for some food." "Please, William, your overprotectiveness is just turning into selfishness and being annoying." Louisa was getting pissed again. I just wanted to look out for her, but then I'm called selfish and annoying. My whole mood was off, and I snapped back. And then the tension between us just blew up right there in the Buc-ee's. "Fine, do whatever you want with that annoying attitude." "I don't need you either, you jerk." She stormed off, and I wasn't about to chase her. It was the dumbest, worst decision of my life. After leaving the store, I looked around, but couldn't spot Louisa. I could hear muffled screams and a car engine in the distance. It was Louisa, getting yanked into the car. I screamed, tried to chase after them, but it was too late. The car was already gone, swallowed by the dark road. I was all fear, panic, and regret in that moment. I called police right away, and the whole investigation was a total nightmare. The Buc-ee's security cam caught the kidnapping that night, but since it was far away, you couldn't really see the kidnapper. I told the police about the weird guy. A week later, they finally caught the kidnapper, hiding out in some old house in the outskirts of the city. That freak, Dominic Novak. He admitted that he overheard me and Louisa talking at the barbecue joint, and that's when he started stalking us. He said he wanted to ruin our happiness and had been planning to snatch Louisa from the start. I couldn't keep it together and just ran straight to punch that crazy guy right at the police station. During the questioning, the guy just sat there all calm, like he didn't feel bad at all. He went on, talking about how he followed us and grabbed Louisa. But when police asked him where Louisa was, he just grinned and said, "You'll never find her." Dominic wouldn't say a word. He just kept Louisa's location to himself. The next few days were a total nightmare for me. Not only was I dealing with Louisa disappearing, but I also couldn't shake off the guilt and torment. I spent all my time in cash looking for Louisa, checking out the old streets, asking everyone, but no luck. Even though they never found Louisa, they wrapped up the case, saying she was killed and Dominic got life in prison. It's been 4 years, and I've kind of come to terms with losing Louisa. The engagement ring I always carried with me still reminds me I never got to get down on one knee and put it on her finger.